Coffee, thank you.
Quito, that was foolish and childish, and I don't want to see it happen again.
I thought he was going to strangle me.
It's all right, it's all right. I can assure you he meant you no harm. You can go.
I guess I kind of lost my cool, didn't I?
He's really like a child, but I don't blame you for being upset. I was beginning to get that way myself, until I acquired a few house guests.
Is that why you're keeping us here?
No, and I would rather it was otherwise.
You mean you wish we weren't here?
I would rather you were all here under happier circumstances.
The loss of your wife must have been a real blow to you.
My wife is still with me.
Oh, yes, of course, but it's not quite the same thing.
I have the past to look back on, and the future to look forward to.
When my father was alive, I used to look forward to getting up practically at the crack of dawn every morning just to be with him.
You were very fond of your father.
Oh, we were very fond of each other. We used to do so many things together. You know, we used to have a special language all our own. My mother couldn't understand it. It used to make her so furious.
Yes. And that special language you still have, all your own.
Oh, you only think that way because you're over 30. Oh, I talk that way because it's the in thing to do, and if I didn't, well, it would be a real drag.
Then your childhood isn't all as terrible as you've suggested?
Oh, the part of my father was great. But my mother was a witch, and always will be, if you know what I really mean.
Well, may I join this tete-a-tete?
An extra head in a tete-a-tete deserves to get bumped.
My, it's nice to have such pleasant company at this hour.
Those were my sentiments
May I assume that you'll
Clear the decks for action.
or that witch will make a clean sweep even without her broom.
Say something, Jean-Paul.
After a fashion, yes. You see, I have a secret code of my own, too.
Somebody let me in on the secret?
Then it wouldn't be a secret.
You make it sound so ominous.
Sometimes things happen beyond one's control. Like a man and his conscience, or a woman who has no conscience at all.
Such a lovely morning.
Yes, I think it will be when the sun breaks through the haze.
I used to love to walk in the morning mists.
Only generally you were staggering on your way home.
Have all the cryonics gauges been checked for order? Make sure that they're checked again in 2 hours. Then take the mail to the main island and make sure we have mail to pick up.
He's just like a faithful puppy dog.
He loved my wife, as I do.
I meant no harm, Jean-Paul. You know that.
It just comes out that way, doesn't it? Naturally.
Holly, behave yourself, please.
Well, why don't we both?
If you'll excuse me.
Have you been making a pest of yourself with Mr. Desmond?
He made no move to cut out until you arrived on the scene.
Holly, I'm talking to you. Holly, did you hear me? I'm talking to you. Well?
I'm listening.
You mustn't bother him with your silly talk. The man is grieving, and he needs to confide in adults.
Like you, maybe, eh?
Well, I've known grief.
Ha! Your mascara didn't even get damp at Dad's funeral. The only time you felt grief was when you found you'd lost out on the money.
You have a nasty, mean little mind.
It runs in the female side of my family.
Thinking of Erica. Hmm? Oh, she is charming beyond belief, but also temporarily beyond your grasp. She will live, and she will be with me again. If you do as I say, since I'm forced to live my life in your body, allow it some of the pleasures of the flesh. I feel stilted. What part of my life you control, you will live my way. Why torment us both? Elizabeth Marshall has charm, and you would be blind not to see that she's willing. I might even say, eager. You want me to substitute a woman like Elizabeth Marshall for my beloved Erica? Never. Then may I remind you that Erica's family blood flows in Alison Carr's veins. You disgust me. You disappoint me. So many blossoms to be plucked. And you lie there dreaming while the world goes by. I can't have that.
Mr. Desmond? Mr. Desmond, it's me, Holly. But I saw him go in there.
All right, lady, you're under arrest.
Tim, that isn't funny. There are enough creepy things around here already.
Well, clue me in. What's wrong?
Well, I saw Mr. Desmond go into his room not more than 10 minutes ago. And he couldn't have left it without my seeing him, but Timmy isn't in there now.
Well, maybe there's another entrance.
There isn't. Oh, I wasn't just spinning my wheels when I said there was something creepy about this place.
Come on, I'll protect you. You can watch me have breakfast. How's that sound for an attraction?
No, thanks. I'll skip that one. My mother's probably in there. You're welcome to her if you're that hard up for company.
Look, doesn't that continual catfight you two keep carrying on make you both miserable?
If you have any advice, give it to Lady Macbeth.
Oh, I thought you were Mr. Desmond.
So your fading smile told me. Is he upstairs?
He went up a few minutes ago. Why?
You would have seen him if he came down.
Of course. You make this sound so mysterious.
Now hear this, Jean-Paul. When I hold control over this body of yours, There must be livelier times around here. The choice between Allison, Elizabeth, yes, and that little morsel, Holly, and all their tricks to win my favor. Oh, that must prevail. Why do you have to be such a dull fellow? Dull and foolish. Hello? Are you there, Erica? Well, of course you are. Take heart. Jean-Paul will be joining you after I take what is mortal of him and lead a merry life in place of his dreary existence. Oh, poor Erica. All his hopes that I will help him with my dark arts to restore you to life on this planet are but, or could be, but idle dreams. For he is good, and I am not. But I have more fun.
I've been studying snapshots of Erica Desmond so long, I'm beginning to think of her as living. But I can't seem to get it down on the canvas.
Could it be you're confusing your living model with the dead one? My daughter isn't exactly the figure of delicate grace that Jean-Paul tells us his late wife was.
Well, there's a real delicate grace about your daughter, Mrs. Marshall. It's just a shame you can't see it, that's all.
Matter of opinion.
Well, there's another opinion I'd like to pass on to Holly. And that is her mother isn't quite the monster she thinks she is, or I thought she was.
And I have an opinion. That you show an inclination to meddle where you don't belong.
Well, have it your way.
I pretended I didn't know what you were getting at when you asked about Jean-Paul having left his room. I overheard what Holly told you. And you believed her.
Believed her about what?
About Mr. Desmond not being in his room when you caught her leaving it.
Yes, I believed her.
How little you know about my daughter. You're blind to the brazen way that she's been throwing herself at Jean-Paul.
Well, looks like we have to be careful, don't we, Jean-Paul, about one Elizabeth Marshall? Here, I give you back your body.
Desmond, you're in your room.
Was that so amazing?
Well, you weren't in your room a few minutes ago.
Wasn't I? Oh, of course, I must have been taking a shower.
But I didn't hear the shower running. Or did I? Well, I even called your name. Oh, well, as long as you're okay.
Jacques Elroy des Mondes. Don't be encouraged by these lapses of mine. After each one, I discover more about the tricks you use
And soon I will discover them all.
We'll find out eventually whose resources are the more numerous.
We shall see about that. If science refuses to return my Erica to me, I will perfectly willingly join her.
In due time, as I wish it, not you. I'm perfectly capable of countering any move you may make. Be sure of that.
I'll find the silver and the conjure door. Be just as sure of that.
Not where I hid them.
We'll soon see.
Lie down, will you please? I'm tired. Now, who's the boss? Did I ring for you?